This is the new Triumph Tracker 400, and this is something that we haven't really seen from Triumph before, because this isn't a cafe racer and it's not a scrambler. This is a proper flat track inspired bike. Wide bars, upright stance, and it's all about attitude. And the thing is, bikes like this are usually very niche. They don't always make the most sense on paper, and they don't always have the most practical use. But here's my question. Is this bike going to be a little bit pointless? Or is it one of the bikes that you just can't stop riding? That is what I intend to find out today on some silky Spanish roads when I put this to the test. Get yourself comfy, get yourself a brew, and I'll play the intro.
The new Triumph Tracker 400 is priced in the UK from £5,745 and comes in silver, black and yellow. It's powered by Triumph's TR Series 398cc liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine, producing 42 PS, or around 41.5 brake horsepower at 9,000 RPM, and 37.5 Nm of torque at 6,500 RPM. It's paired to a 6-speed gearbox with a slip and assist clutch. Suspension is handled by 43mm upside down big piston forks with 140mm of travel and a rear monoshock with preload adjustability. Braking comes from a 300mm front disc with a radially mounted 4-piston caliper supported by ABS. In terms of features, you've got a ride-by-wire throttle, switchable traction control, full LED lighting, an analog style speedometer with an integrated LCD display, and there's also a gear indicator, fuel gauge and range, plus a USB-C charging socket. Where this bike really starts to separate itself from the Speed 400 is in the chassis and ergonomics, with wider handlebars, around 23mm broader, a slightly taller 805mm seat height, and a more upright elbows out riding position. It also gets a slightly shorter wheelbase at 1,371mm, along with a sharper 24.4 degree rake, which should, in theory, translate to a more agile and responsive feel through the corners, but the proof will be in the pudding. Fuel tank capacity is 13 litres, in line with the Speed 400. The weight is 3 kilograms more porky than the Speed 400 and comes in at 173 kg. And as mentioned, the seat height is 805mm as opposed to the 790mm seat height of the Speed 400. Now I'm a 5'4" individual, or 162 centimetres, with a 29-inch inside leg, or 73.66cm inside leg, and this is what it's like for me to sit on the Tracker 400 versus sitting on the Speed 400. Right, now we know what it's about, I think it's time to test it out.
Well everybody, oh yes, I'm out and about on the Tracker 400, Triumph's first ever flat track inspired machine, and a small capacity beast at that. Triumph are expanding constantly on their 400 platform, and this and the Triumph Thruxton 400 means now that there are 5 options to choose from this platform. You've got the Speed 400, you've got the Scrambler 400 or the Scrambler X, you've got the Scrambler XC, you've got the Tracker 400, and you've got the Thruxton 400 as well. So lots and lots of choice now, and it's clearly working out for Triumph, because in the presentation briefing last night they let us know that there are 150,000 400s on the road. That's a big old number, and apparently it's been instrumental in bringing younger riders and more women into the sport of motorcycling. So as mentioned in the intro, the engine is still the TR series engine at 398cc single cylinder, but for the 2 new models they have managed to eke out a little bit more power in the engine through revised cam timings and an engine tune. It's still got good pull from 4th gear, so we don't have any quick shifters or auto blippers with this. It's all manual. Oh god, I had to be careful what I was going to say then. You have to utilise your hand to change gears. Oh, but this is a right fun little weapon to spank around on these roads. Now, one of the most noticeable things about this bike that has taken me by surprise, I absolutely did not expect it, is how they've unlocked a new level of agility through the geometry of this bike. You're talking a shorter wheelbase than on the Speed 400, which in the range is probably its most comparable, and it's got a steeper rake as well, and crikey O'Reilly, you feel it. It's like taking a shot of ginger in the morning, you know, like it wakes you up. Wah! Well, when you get straight on this bike and you just start wanging it round the bends, it's mental how light on its feet it is and how easy it is just to tip into bends. The slightest input and you're there. You just have to think of what direction you want to go in. Boom, there. Mad. And instantly that is a massive highlight for me. I thought, you know what, if it rides like the Speed 400 and it's got tracker looks, I'd be a happy customer if I was buying this bike. But if you're more of a fun rider and you like a bike to just be proper nimble and really responsive to your input, then to me that's the 400 for you. So even though this bike still utilises that TR series engine that's in the 400 bikes across the range, the Thruxton and the Tracker do get a slightly newer iteration of the engine. It's slightly up on horsepower, I mean marginally. I think it's gone from something like 40 PS to 42 PS, and the torque figures stayed the same, but it now revs higher. And peak torque actually comes in at 1000 RPM later than it does on the other 3 iterations that have come before this one. The Scrambler X, the Scrambler XC and the Speed. Wow, wee wah! These roads, it's just a shame we're doing them in quite chilly weather. But yeah, short wheelbase, steeper rake, oh man, now that is transformative from all the other bikes in the range. Abso-bloody-lutely. Oh no, the rain's coming. Here comes the rain again. No, it didn't ask for you. You're not on the weather forecast. 4% chance. How did we find the 4%? Hopefully it won't last long. Look, his elbow's out. He's doing the flat track stance. Now, speaking of the flat track stance, another thing that I think helps contribute to its agility and its liveliness, or liveliness? What's the word, guys? Help me out. Is the wide bars. The wide bars, you've got so much push and pull on them. The leverage is great. And yeah, as well as just looking very right on a flat track style bike, it also does serve a nice handling purpose. Oh man, you can flip it and flop it around so nicely. Yeah, so the ergos on this are pretty nice, like in the sense that it is designed to be quite an aggressive position. Your pegs are a bit further back, you've got your wide bars. It's got fairly light weight, particularly when you compare it to the Thruxton that has to bear the weight of the nose cone. Oh, look at this road! Come on, aye pappy! Yeah, boy! Oh, we live for it, don't we? We absolutely live for it. Twisty sign, we like it. Might put it in third here. Slipper clutch. We don't have a quick shifter or blipper, but the slipper clutch is nice. Oh, I do like how you can like pin the throttle right to the stop and it just picks it up nicely. It's not like overwhelming. Can you imagine if you did that on like a Triumph 1200? Just pinned it right back to the stop coming out of a bend. It would not end well, would it? And speaking of the bigger Triumphs, right, I was thinking about what this Triumph reminded me of. I was looking at the tracker and I was obviously taking note of the number board and like the grippy flat seat and the flat kind of cowl. It is just a cowl, by the way. You can remove it and there is a seat underneath if you wanted to carry a pillion. And I was looking at it and thinking, what does it remind me of? And weirdly, it actually reminds me of like a Speed Twin 900. Just in like its general shape. But then obviously you've got the big wide bars, you've got the pegs a bit further back, you've got the number board. But yeah, it's very much giving, like Triumph are classing this very much as like a modern retro, just in a flat track format. Wing it round. I'm actually quite impressed with how versatile third gear is. I thought I'd need second a lot more. Now nothing's changed on the gearing, I don't believe, from the Speed and the Scrambler. Just haven't really ridden them in a while for any considerable amount of time on the road. But yeah, just totally forgot, like I say, the versatility of that third gear. Now we did a bit of kind of dual carriageway this morning and it did make some things clear. Like, it's quite a vibey bike, particularly through the foot pegs. And I'm literally fresh off a BMW F450 GS launch, and I know that's a parallel twin, but riding a buzzy, zesty single like this does make you realise that you've probably got nothing to complain about on that F450 GS if you're doing speed limits. So unfortunately we don't get to ride these bikes in the dirt, on the gravel, on the loose stuff, because I feel like that could have been quite fun if not for just a tarty photo opportunity. But I think it could have been quite fun on this bike. Switch the traction control off and have a bit of a blast. Nice of them to move so far over. Wow, the big sweeper. Nice. Yeah, it's certainly a fun bike. Elbows out. Leg out. Yeah, life is good. Oh, I'm very, very much enjoying this bike as a bit of a wang around bike. Drop it to third for this. It's got a nice sound to it as well. I wonder what they've done with the exhaust on this, because I feel like it does sound a little bit different. I mean, I know the Speed sounds slightly, and I mean negligibly, again I hope that's the right word, gruntier and like lower toned than the Scrambler because of the exhaust. I wonder if anything's been done to this. I wonder if anything's been done to this to make it sound the way it does. Because right high up in the revs, like 8,000 RPM, it's got a right to it. Ah! Oh, bumpy. Suspension, reasonably basic for a bike like this. Like, there's no adjustability, but I suppose they are big piston. Big bloody piston. So there is that. They're not super basic. I mean, they're not telescopic, are they? We have got some meaty black upside down forks on this. I tell you what though, they've done us dirty, Triumph, on this launch. They've not put heated grips on this bike. Do they care about us? LOL! Jokes. Of course they care about us. We're out here ripping round on some sexy brand new bikes. Which is why I think it's ever so important, and more so important, to actually be really critical where we can about these bikes. So I actually have been formulating a bit of a list of cons about this bike, and maybe I'll just touch on a few of them now, even though I will repeat it in the outro with a little pros and cons kind of chart thing. But the seat's not massively comfy. It feels quite boxy in between your legs, or at least it does for me. No self-cancelling indicators. I've had to remind Toad in front, Mr. Forgetful, to switch them off approximately 40,000 times in 40 kilometres. So that could be quite helpful, especially because the switchgear indicator button is quite plasticky and a bit vague feeling. But yeah, buzzy engines up there. Obviously don't have things like cruise control with this. What do you guys think of the dash on this bike? Do you like it? Do you think it's too basic? Would you have preferred a TFT? Would you have preferred just a round dash? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? I mean, it's not my favourite dash on the earth. I suppose it's functional enough. Tells you what you need to see. Oh yeah, you can have a right whiz around the bends. A right whiz around them. It's just so quick to turn. So far, I am really, really liking this bike. I think, actually, so far, I haven't ridden the Thruxton yet, I'll be honest, but I can't see that win in my heart, purely because I'm not a fan of clip-ons. If I was just getting a road-focused 400, this would be it for me. And if I wanted to go in the dirt, the Scrambler 400 XC would be the one for me. That is what I'm concluding. Wow, look at this from this trip so far. Right, well, I think you've seen all that you need to see. I'll take you to my outro.
Right team, I'm back in from riding the Tracker 400. A Tracker. When I think of a flat track style machine, I kind of think limited appeal. You know, there's lots of bikers nowadays. Adventure bikes are pretty trendy. Everyone wants an adventure bike to rip around on. A flat tracker is, or a flat tracker inspired machine, is a little bit niche in my opinion. And when I saw this bike, I immediately fell in love with the looks of it. I love the number board, I love its aggressive stance, I think it's got attitude, I think it looks bold, and I loved all that. But I did think, who is this actually going to appeal to, and who's really going to buy it, say over the Speed 400? And I thought it might be a bit niche, but when I say, and I'm not exaggerating this, I think that this might actually just be the best handling bike that I have ever ridden, period, on roads like that. Genuinely, it has blown me away. The way they have differentiated this from the Speed 400, I didn't think it was going to be like this. I thought I was going to jump on this and it'd just be like a restyled Speed 400, just to appeal to someone that likes that flat track look and wants to be a bit edgier, a bit more, you know, have a bit more attitude on the road. But no, the characteristics, the riding characteristics of this are completely different. The geometry is so greatly changed from the speed. Oh, you know what, it might not even be, in terms of mil, it might not actually be all that different, but the impact that those small changes have is great, is what I'm trying to say. So we've got a sharper, steeper rake with this, we've got a shorter wheelbase. Oh my gosh, the way it is just changes direction at the drop of a hat. And it's just so much usable power with that small engine. So you can just whack it on, and you can be in 5th gear going around tight bends and just whack it on. And if you was to do that on something bigger, it'd be absolutely terrifying. But this, it just, you know, takes a while to draw on the power, but in a way that's really fun, because you've still got your momentum and your speed. And man, this bike, I would absolutely love to have one of these in the garage. I did not think I'd be saying that at all. And yeah, the handling of it, just the punch, oh man, yeah, this is a bit of me, I must say. But it's not perfect, so like everything, they've got the pros and the cons. So I will pop my pros here and my cons here in typical format. You guys know how it is now, so you can read them and digest them at your leisure. But yeah, did not expect to like this bike as much as I did. It's actually blown me away, and that's probably some of the most fun on 2 wheels I've had in a very long time. Alright team, if you've got any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll try and answer them as always. But I hope you've enjoyed this review. I've enjoyed filming it, it's been wicked. And I'll catch you all on the next one. Take care.